It's your boy ConsertViz34. This is take two. Live video. First one I didn't go well. I'm gonna try this again with some more cliff notes here, right in front of me. I want to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks and their new stadium search. It should be a reality show, but we want to talk about how they've been cleared to be allowed, despite being in a contract, kind of being tied up to Chase Field. They've been allowed to look for new places and new opportunities for a new stadium. And on the face surface of this story, it's kind of weird that this venue is very, very new as far as stadium age. It's a very new venue. And to have it already, being at a point where the team is like, hey, we're going to look for a new venue, it's kind of, it's kind of weird. It's kind of almost like, too soon, bro. Like, what are you doing? But there are some things that the Diamondbacks do have that, they should expect to be improved. But at the same time, there are also things that we'll get into that have nothing to do with how much you can improve the venue. So the Diamondbacks are a team here that has a field called Chase Field. It opened in 1998, so it's 20 years old this year. And it cost taxpayers about $250 million. That amount of money goes at the foot of the taxpayers. And then there's also been other things, enhancements and upgrades that they've had. But it's still, to the Diamondbacks, as far as what they're looking at, it's not enough. This is an issue that the Atlanta Braves had too. And this is a unique situation because the other type of situation in the MLB is the Rays and A's situation. And that situation is, okay, we have these very old venues. They're not made for baseball specifically. We need to move somewhere else or find a new venue. That's an issue where it's like, look, we got to find somewhere else. It's old, it's outdated. Okay, it makes sense to try to look somewhere else. But what's happening with the Atlanta Braves as far as their new move, and what's happening with the Diamondbacks and what may be their potentially a new move, has to do with how fast technology, media, and amenities are evolving in the last 25 years or so. If you think about where we were in venues 25 years ago, well, ribbon boards didn't really exist 25 years ago. High definition screens didn't exist 25 years ago. And venues like Chase Field and what used to be Turner Field, they were, if you didn't make these upgrades and improvements, well, you know what, it is kind of out of date. And the cost to make these improvements in aging infrastructure is getting to a point where teams are saying, hey, let's just build a new venue. So with the Braves, they did this, right? They have SunTrust Park. It's in the suburbs versus being in the city. There's more parking and other options to have the fans be more happy. But here's where the same issue that the Braves are facing, I think the Diamondbacks are going to face as well. What happened with the Braves? Well, they moved from Turner Field, which I've been to see a game. They moved from the city, not a lot of parking, hard for people to get out from the suburbs during the week and weekend, to the suburbs where, oh, hey, here's where all the fans are, in the suburbs, north of the city. Well, guess what? While the attendance numbers are up, if you look at 2016 to 2017, Turner Field's last year to SunTrust's first year, attendance was up technically. But when you look at the seats, when you look at the photos from the games, they were either the same or they were down. And that's really what, if the Diamondbacks do find a new venue, a new place to build a new venue, guess what? The same thing is going to happen there. You build a new venue, it's state of the art, you have HD screens, maybe you get a Billy Joel like Atlanta did, SunTrust Park. They had Billy Joel there for a concert. Maybe you get a Metallica, I believe SunTrust had Metallica, but that's only 2 dates. And then you got all these baseball games that no one's going to, and you have debt. Now the team's in debt because they have to pay for this. This is what Arizona is going to face should they, if they're not trying to hustle or trying to, get the city there where Chase Field is to try to cave in and put some more money up or get this thing resolved. Unless they're, trying to, if that's not the motive and they're actually trying to get a new venue, this is the problem they face. When it comes to baseball, and specifically baseball, you can have a new venue. Trust me. You look around Yankee stadiums, and I'm a Yankees fan, and the Red Sox are in town tonight, and it's not sold out. You look at Shea Stadium was replaced by Citi Field. Same thing. Oh, nice venue, nice club options, and tons of suites. Brand new area behind home plate where there's just all the amenities are amazing there. The food's amazing. People aren't showing up. This is the issue when it comes to teams saying, hey, we want state-of-the-art venues, we want state-of-the-art upgrades. While Chase Field there's not a agreement between the Diamondbacks and that city to find a way to put this money up to get this venue a little bit better. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're not averaging 30,000 true fans entering the gate for Chase Field a night. Now you can look at the attendance numbers and they're saying they're around 30,000. That's a lie. There's not 30,000 people coming there every night on average. They're being sold to companies, to corporations, to people that have a lot of money, probably have a house. Their second house is in Scottsdale or Phoenix or Peoria, wherever they live in Arizona, and they may have season tickets or a partial plan, but they're not going to every game, and no one's buying them on the secondary. You have to have more than just it's the technology is not there to really justify taxpayer money to improve a venue that already has millions of dollars of taxpayer money that's already that went to build this venue. And that's really where, shout out to Field of Schemes, the Twitter page. That's where the Field of Schemes thing comes into play, because it's a baseball game. It's in Arizona, it's hot, but guess what? You have a roof. You have air conditioning, I'm sure, as far as their ventilation, that it feels cool. So you have this venue that is made for the desert. Yeah, it's old, it's outdated, some things could be better. It's going to cost more money. The longer you wait, it's going to cost more money to update plumbing and the ventilation and all that stuff. But to build a new stadium is going to be even more. And that's where the Diamondbacks can look all they want. They can do all they, blah, 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 blah. But if they can't get fans out to the venue, if the team, obviously last year they were doing really good, and if the team isn't really competing in the postseason every season, and if the fans aren't showing up in droves, there's no reason to have a new stadium. And Atlanta, again, they had to do what they had to do, and that's a little different as far as Atlanta because of the traffic situation. But even Atlanta, you got this freebie stadium almost, because it was the Olympic Stadium, turned it into Turner Field, and you pretty much got a nice deal from the Olympic cash that was popping off there when the Summer Olympics in '96. But you move it to the suburbs, and they're already struggling. But for Arizona, it's even worse, because Atlanta is a baseball market. They love their Braves when they're good, and they love college baseball. The local baseball programs in the Atlanta area and in the state of Georgia are very, very good. You see the Little League World Series and the college baseball teams out there. It's a big baseball state. So if Arizona is not that type of baseball state, or it's not, baseball is not the biggest sport or one of the biggest sports out of there. Obviously, college football is bigger in Georgia, but baseball is probably number 2. Why build a new venue? So we'll see what happens. There's not much we can really talk about right now until moves are made. But to me, it's baseball. If people like it and support it, they'll go. And you look at Fenway Park, they still have blue seats in there, and there's poles and obstructions. People still go to the game. Why? Because the city likes baseball. Why? Because it's a stadium that, you know, people have been going to for years and years. And sure, yeah, you can say Fenway improved and they made millions of dollars in improvements, but I'm pretty sure that Chase Field is in a better position than Fenway Park even now. Just because, again, it was built in 1998. So we'll see what happens. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this stadium situation and about all these MLB teams that are trying to either get new stadiums or move out of town and see if another town will burn tax money so that they can have a stadium that's popular for a year and then no one shows up the next year. But it's your boy ConcertViz34. I'm out.